Welcome back to White Album 2, Closing Chapter. So, we finally had a little bit of communication with Setsuna. We texted her, which is a start. And now our newspaper is asking for an interview. They want to do a feature on Toma, which is convenient. And I'm excited for it, very excited. So, let's jump back in. Even in such a simple, everyday conversation, the praise that she gets is really something else.
その子が国際コンクールで入賞。しかもこのビジュアルとあっちゃ、そりゃ周りが放っておきませんよね。
そうなんですか。
What are these people saying? How can they sing Kazusa's praises like this while knowing nothing about her other than what's written in this article? She's just a student studying abroad who just happened to produce some results and who just happens to be the daughter of someone pretty famous. Who just happens to be somewhat of a nice girl.
あっちの雑誌、本来ならヘンプロにグロスで発注してるんだけど、今回のは急遽決まった企画だし、元ネタ拾ってきたのが私だし。
要するにまた他の編集部の仕事を引き受けてきたと。
ほんと、北原くんのこと叱れないですよね。上司が編集部またぎのプロなんだもん。ちゃんと両編集長には許可もらってる。それに隔月間の締め切りなんて余裕だし。
そう言って地獄を見るけど、それでもなんとかするのがこいつなんだよな。
It's good that they seem to get along at work. That's important. How did it end up like this? Oh, that was a quote from the introductory chapter. Ooh, ooh.
そんなわけで北原、あんたには引き続きこっちの記事を担当してもらう。
Of course we're in charge of it. Why wouldn't we be in charge of it? Mari-san's words strike me hard from two opposite directions.
担当してもらうって、だって
バイトだぞ北原。
Does she know? I mean, she's pretty smart. Maybe she knows. Leaving me in charge probably means I'll need to take care of both the information gathering and the article writing myself. That's way different from my usual responsibilities of making copies, buying things, getting food, picking up manuscripts, fixing layouts, quality checking, and talking to the printing company. That's a lot for one part-timer. Even though the last half of that is already slightly beyond the responsibilities of a part-timer. There we go. There's a thin line between my work and an actual employee's work where you're actually meant to create. I never thought a part-timing student, that's weird, like myself would ever be given a chance like this.
異論は？
But if I take on this job, I'll need to thoroughly research the interviewee. That means looking into her history, talking to her acquaintances, and tracing her past footsteps. Can I really do something like that? Can I really dig up my memories of her again? But also, if Haruki doesn't do this, they're gonna find out that she was in the school band with him, so maybe it's best that we do it. Oh, geez. I don't know. I guess we'll decline for now. I really want to accept, trust me, I really want to accept. But I really want to get the common ending first, so...
俺には荷が重いんじゃないかと思います。どなたか編集部の方に担当してもらった方が。
Hearing my response, Mari-san seems to be at a loss. But this does seem like a fitting reaction for someone as hypocritical as her, stuffing work down my throat and saying that I work too much at the same time.
もしかして今の自分にその能力がないと思ってる？それはちょっと過小評価だと思うけどな。
Maybe she'll make us do it anyway.
そんなの買いかぶりすぎですよ。
Her confidence in me is only painful for me right now. And knowing that the issue has nothing to do with what Mari-san's worrying about only makes it worse.
だってあんた書きたかったんじゃないの？出版狙ってるから経験積みたいって言ってたわよね。
それは
That's exactly what I said. And not just with words, I did everything I could to get a chance at it. Please entrust me with more challenging tasks. Or please work me to the bone until I can't think anymore, and whatnot. But all of that work was meant to help me forget. It'd be pretty ironic if I took on a job that forced me to recall what I've been trying to forget.
これじゃあ私何のために無理やり外注から仕事を奪って。
マリさん、
あんた何してきたんすか？
どれだけ北原くんのこと買ってんですか、マリさん。社員にだってそんなに目かけたことないのに。まっちゃんがいいれ。
なんで俺に振るんだよ。
Saying that I'm working too hard, and at the same time, making the effort to find more work opportunities for me.
そっか。私の先走りだったか。なんだか逆に悪いことしたね、北原。
Oh man, we made things so awkward. This is awful.
マリさん。
How should I put this? It certainly seems like something a person with such charming contradictions as her would do.
さてと、どうするかな。北原以外想定してなかったんだけど。
俺やります、マリさん。鈴木にそこまで言われて黙ってられますか？
松岡は浜田の下じゃない。上司が貸してくれるってんならいいけど。
ふざけるな。寝言こいてる暇があったらさっさと俺が振ったテープ起こし終わらせろ。北原に頼んだ分はもう上がったぞ。
北原に頼んだ？
あ、いや。
Oh, busted.
嘘！あれ昨日回ってきたばっかじゃ。
北原くん、今朝私が出社してきた時、今から大学行くって退社してったんだよ。今朝？
お前完全にバイトに追い抜かれてるな。勤務態度も成果も信頼も。いや、北原と比較してほしくないですよ。こいつは大学3年生でしょ。俺まだ2年生ですから。
Oh wow, I really thought he was an adult. Alright, he's younger than us.
大卒2年目を2年生って言うんならな。
Oh, second year grad student.
なんてプライドのない社会人。ちょっと北原、朝帰りって何よ。私聞いてないわよ。
すいませんマリさん、さっきの発言撤回します。
そんな話は後。あんた昨日一体何時まで残って。
俺にやらせてください。東間和沙の特集記事。
Ah, alright, our decision didn't really make much of a difference other than causing a big ruckus in the office. In that case, there's no way I can back down here. Because if there's still someone who's willing to put their faith in me, then I'd hate to betray that trust. Aw, that's a really kind way to look at it.
Uh, 8時?
Without a doubt, that's the time displayed on my cell phone. Getting yelled at by Mari-san for working too late, finishing up the crazy amount of work she asked of me, and then coming home after those contradicting activities, all in all took me until around 6 o'clock. It's Sunday today. The sole detestable day of the week for me, given that I have a lot of free time that I don't know what to do with for myself. That's why I worked until I almost passed out last night, barely managing to fall into a sleep so deep I couldn't even dream, and yet...
はい、北原。
Ruining my no need to think about anything day was a call from the city, but a number I've never seen before.
いやー、北原くんかい。元気にやってるかな。
そちらこそ大丈夫ですか？
What wakes me up is the voice of an elderly man who sounds like he's in even worse shape than me. Is it really an elderly man? No, it's probably Takeya or something.
いやー、助かりました北原さん。ほんと大変だったんすよ。先月でバイトが軒並み辞めたところに店長までも。
Oh, wow. He looks like a child, though.
腰やっちゃったんだって。まああの年じゃな。
そうなんすよ。年内に復帰できるかも怪しいところで、もうどうしようかと思ってたところで。
Goodies Restaurant, Minami Suetsugu Branch. A family restaurant located around a 10-minute walk from the station. While I'm at it, given that it's a 10-minute walk from the university as well, about 3/10 of the customers here consist of our university or the high school's students. If only that was the whole story.
そこであからさまにホッとされても困る。俺今日一日だけのヘルプって約束なんだから。
そんなバカな。そんなこと言ったら明日からどうやって回していけばいいんすか。
半年前に辞めた人間に頼るなよ。お前チーフになってもう2年だろ。
Sitting in the manager's seat with distress written all over his face is the kitchen chief, Sato.
そんなこと言われてもっすね。北原さん辞めちゃった時も大変だったんすよ。人を3人増やしても追いつかなくなっちゃって。
I mean, that's because we do everyone else's work. The manager aside, he's the one with the most experience here. Not to mention he's 2 years older than me. But despite all that, this slightly cowardly backup manager always speaks so politely to me.
全部マニュアルにして残したよな。俺の見込みだと4人いれば回るはずだったんだけど。
But if you asked me whether or not I was the one who'd started treating him as an equal first, I couldn't really give you a straight answer.
やっぱビシッと言う人がいないとダメなんすよね。北原さんいないと途端にみんなだらけちゃって。
I wouldn't go as far as to call him useless, but leaving him to manage the store by himself does worry me quite a bit.
じゃあビシッと言えよ。準社員なんだろ。正式採用目指してるんだろ。
そんなの俺に言えるわけないじゃないですか。だいたい店長だって何も言わない人なんですから。
That sense of worry doubles when these kinds of conversations come up. I was working here from the start of my second year until the spring of the third, so about a year in total. Since I got too used to the job before that, I didn't feel tired no matter how hard I pushed myself. That's why I came here, where it always seemed busy no matter what time of day it was. But in the end, some complicated stuff happened and I quit about half a year ago. Oh no, what happened?
チース、北原さん？
Oh.
ああ、本田、久しぶり。俺今日一日だけ。
やべ、すいません。5分遅刻しました。急いで支度してきます。
いや別に。
I'm pretty sure he's also a second year that started working around a year ago. Whenever he was late for his shift, I'd always have a gentle conversation with him, but
俺には絶対あんな態度取らないんすよ、あいつ。
知らないってそんなこと。今日だけって店長との約束なんだってば。
ま、実は俺もそういう話聞いてますけどね。
だったらわざわざ脅かさないでくれ。
いやー、北原さんが戻るっていうからどうしても期待しちゃって、見るに見かねて毎日来てくれるんじゃないかって。
俺もうすぐ就職活動なんだよ。
分かってますって。実は今日から一人新人が来るんすよ。その子を1日で使えるようにしてほしくって。
ああ、そういうことか。本当に誰も空きがいないんだな。
日曜なのに5人ギリギリなんですよ。とても新人に構ってる時間がなくて。
おはようございます。うわ、本当に北原さんだ。おかえりなさい。
中川さん、ご無沙汰。
he's cute.
助かり。店長倒れたって聞いて、もうダメだと思ってたんだよ、この店。
Also, she's so big compared to the guy next to her in more ways than one. Holy cow. Like the big sister type.
ごめんね、オールチーフ。
いや、俺単なる臨時教育係で今日だけ。
大丈夫大丈夫。どうせすぐに改革始めちゃうって。あ、でも新人の子だけには優しくしてあげてね。今一人でも欠けると本当にやばいから。
中川さん残ってたんだ。少しは希望が持てた。
バイトの女の子はね、みんな彼女の言うことしか聞かないんすよ。
So who actually listens to Sato? Nobody? She's a vocational school student, just a year younger than me, who joined 3 months before I left. This might be a little disrespectful to Sato, but I do remember her as the most useful staff member here behind the manager, and the one who best understood my reign of terror while I was still working here. And what I liked most about her was how she saw me as nothing more than just a coworker, and how straightforward she was with me when we talked.
そういえば谷口さんは。
ああ、北原さんがいなくなった後、1週間もしないうちに辞めちゃったっすけど。
そう。
彼女目当てのお客さんも多かったし、結構ダメージでかかったんすけどね。
Sorry, Sato. That's definitely due to all that complicated stuff. What happened? Wait, what? Did Haruki reject another girl?
さてと、そろそろ開店1時間前ですね。新人の子も1時間前に来てますんで紹介しますね。
へえ、初日なのに早いね。いい心がけだ。
俺が面接したんすけどね、すんごい真面目な子ですよ。いきなり30分くらい質問攻めだったし。
そりゃ感心。
あんた、もしかしたら北原さんの妹かと思ったくらいっすよ。
いや、なんてコメントすればいいんだそれ。
工場付属の3年だから妹じゃないけど北原さんの後輩っすね。
ここのバイトなんてほとんどうちの関係だし。
名前は確か杉村。でもなんか違ったような。
まさかな。
Oh, jeez. Goodies Restaurant, Minami Tsuetsugu Branch. A family restaurant about a 10-minute walk from the station. At the same time, since it's about a 10-minute walk from the university too, about 30% of the customers consist of our university or the high school's students. Also, since it's a 10-minute walk from the university, about half of the part-timers here consist of our university or the high school's students. It's like he's repeating it in his head. Yup. It's Koharu. Oh, what the hell?
おい佐藤、これは一体どういうことなんだ。
チーフさん、どうなってるんですかこれは。
全然状況が理解できないゆえに、どうして2人とも俺に怒るんすか。
Cruelty, thy name is fate. That's pretty funny.
お待たせしました。チーズハンバーグセットとミックスピザでございます。鉄板熱くなっておりますのでお気をつけください。
トマトスパゲティとカルボナーラ上がりました。
Oh, I love family restaurants. So much variety.
ご注文繰り返させていただきます。クラブハウスサンド、ビーフカレー、ドリンクバー2つですね。ドリンクバーあちらにございます。
ありがとうございます。お会計2580円になります。はい、5000円お預かりします。
ドリンクバー、アイスコーヒー補充して、あと氷も。
例えば半熟オムライスだったらこのボタン、2個なら。
As the fierce battles both here and in the kitchen take their course, we reach the second half of the lunch rush.
で、注文が確定したらこのボタンを押して、で、最後に送信ボタン。
Me and the new part-time worker, Hojo High's third-year student, Sugiura Koharu, remain at one side so as not to get in anyone's way.
こうすると注文内容はキッチンに転送されるから、もう次のお客様の対応に向かって問題ない。
Currently, the training for ordering terminal usage and order taking is progressing smoothly. If only that was the case.
聞いてる？
She's probably listening, but she's also visibly irritated. Man, what did that girl say to her earlier? It probably wasn't good. It was probably something like, hey, I'm dating him. Our first meeting ended in bloodshed. Our second needed someone else to take over while I ran away. What reason would she have to just sit there and get lectured by a man like me? I have no doubt that this girl absolutely despises me right now, even as I enumerate these steps to her.
じゃあ練習。ミックスフライの洋食セット、シーザーサラダ、ハニートースト、マンゴーパフェ、コーヒーフロートにドリンクバー2つ。
But with that said, the one who wanted to work here is none other than herself, and it just so happens that I'm the one in charge of her training.
お見事。
Letting your own preferences affect your work performance would be nothing but trouble for the employer, is what I'd like to say. Not only was she listening, she also picked it up extremely quickly. To think she can use it this easily after only a single demonstration. If you consider her talent alone, she has the potential to be the store's finest. She takes her training seriously, giving it her best efforts, and understands it all perfectly, someone every pupil should aspire to be. But the irritated look on this pupil's face is a little troubling for me as a mentor.
さて、それじゃあ次の。
結構です。
Oh, she's so cute. Look at that pose.
もうホールに出られます。これ以上の教育は無意味です。
And so, the first words out of our mouth after about an hour seem to fundamentally reject our weird mentor-pupil relationship.
あなたは私の教育係としてここに来たんですよね。だったらお疲れ様でした。もうおしまいです。
When it comes to cooperativeness, she's taking a very clear negative stand.
しかし、もう少し愛想よく振る舞ってくれないと、とても接客は。
先輩も接客対応してたんですよね。以前は。
うん。俺は基本的に人の足りないところならどこでも。
なら問題ないです。
I forcibly hold back my urge to start arguing back. After all, the attitude she's taking with me is unmistakably a consequence of the attitude I've taken with her in the past.
本当に大丈夫か？
当然です。
So, maybe it's just as she says. If I'm not around, that attitude of hers might just be fixed for all I know. But that alone isn't enough to conclude that she's ready for the job.
中川さん。
The lunch rush is just starting to ease up. Our hull chief, who is relieved that she can take a breather now, is fanning herself with a spare tray as she walks our way.
何？店長。
店長違う。それどころかチーフでもない。
I'd tell her to watch her slack attitude a little, but now's not the time for that.
ちょっと彼女、ホールに入れてあげて。そうだな、30分。
Just as expected, the two of them stare at me with dissatisfied expressions. The reasons behind them, however, are completely different.
ちょっと待ってください。たった30分ってどういうことですか？出しちゃっていいの？みんな巻き込まれるよ。
Their responses are also, of course, completely opposite.
ちょっと折る必要があってね。花。
新人の子にだけは優しくしてあげてって頼んだのにな。
Furthermore, their well-owned instincts both seem to be able to sense that I'm clearly provoking a certain someone.
今回はきついね。何？そんなに腹に据えかねた？
大丈夫。これくらいでへこたれる子じゃない。俺が保証する。
Speaking from plenty of experience,
人のことバカにしないでください。はいはい。それじゃあ小春ちゃん、ちょっとだけ頑張ってみようかな。言ってるそばから？
aww.
悪いな。教育終わったら俺がフォローするから。久しぶりだからさらに足引っ張るかもしれないけど。
いい加減にしてください。
That's cute. I hope she can do it. I hope she can do a very good job.
そろそろ抜けていい？少ししたら夜シフトの連中来るよな。
そうだね、解放してあげる。ほら、全然なまってないじゃん、北原さん。やっぱ戻っておいでよ。
ダメ、全然ダメ。もうさっきから膝が笑って笑って。
それはブランクじゃなくて年。お疲れ様っす。
Oh, wow. Having received the warm words of gratitude from both of the team chiefs, I unsteadily walk back behind the counter. It's not that my stamina as a whole has gone down, but a job where I'm standing all day really hurts my legs since I haven't been using them lately. I mean that, and you also got, what, like 2 hours of sleep, if that? But leaving that aside for now.
さてと、感想は？
I walk up to the humbled Sugiura Koharu, whose ego is but a fraction of what it was before, and stand beside her.
そんなわけだから、今日はもう少しだけここにいて、人と仕事の流れを観察してください。
The instant she stepped into the hall, the steady workflow that everyone was trying so hard to maintain simply collapsed.
どういうお客様をどこの席に案内したらいいのか、自分の仕事がないときはどこをどう移動すればいいのか、逆に複数の仕事があったらどう優先順位をつけるか。
Also, I just noticed the creepy guy in the background, this bald guy, who looks like he's just wearing his under pajamas. What the heck is up with that guy? Each and every one of her actions got in the way of the other staff, got in the way of the customers, and ended up causing her to make mistakes herself.
他にもいろいろと考慮すべき点は多いんだけど、細かいところは経験で覚えていけばいい。
She later mixed up the orders, made even more mistakes, and caused further inconveniences for the customers.
君は頭がいいから、多分1日でなんとかなると思う。次は普通にホールに出られる。
Don't cry, please don't cry, that's so overwhelming. I called for a retreat just 20 minutes in. True to her intelligence, she immediately realized the extent of her abilities, withdrew, and took my assistance. From that perspective, she performed flawlessly.
で、2、3回働けばすぐに戦力になる。店的にはかなりの拾い物だよ。
And regarding her attitude, all I can really do is hope she tries her best to do something about it. She still hasn't responded to anything I've said. Still holding an irritated expression, never even facing me. But what's different from when she refused to look at me earlier is that she's properly listening to my instructions now.
シフトは週末だけ？
冬休み入るまでは入ったら毎日。
そうか。
That's why, if I ask her a proper question, she'll give me a proper, albeit indifferent, answer.
次は来週の土曜？俺は来なくていい？
それは私が決めることじゃないですから。
うん。
It's not like I can really give a training's over statement right now. But then, what should I do? I initially agreed upon working today and today only. If I keep sticking by her, it'll affect my studies and my job at the publishing company. But even so, I should at least look at the scheduled shifts before leaving her by herself. Stuck in this awkward, uneasy atmosphere, the two of us quietly observed the store's activities for a while.
それじゃあ、お先に失礼します。
Aw, that's so cute. I love her scarf.
お疲れ。
それじゃあ次は来週の土曜でお願いします。
はい。
Aw, we really broke her spirit, huh? In the end, it wasn't until 2 hours later that I could get my hands on the night shift schedule. After all that happened, she mostly kept quiet. Bade Nakagawa-san farewell, hurriedly changed out of her uniform, and gave everyone a deep bow.
その、 お疲れ様。次も頑張って。
Not sure what to do after seeing her so depressed for the first time, I do my best to give a few words of encouragement and... a bonk. We're about to get wicked scolded. Alright, well I think that's a great stopping point for today with our little surprise part-time job. So, thanks so much for joining me today. Can't wait to play the next chapter with you next time. See you then!